Morning. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is having a great morning so far and a great trading session. I have only taken one trade. It lost. Thankfully, it didn't actually copy to my PA. I've missed like 3 trades, a win and 2 break evens. And that's pretty much where we are right now. Good morning, Janelle. How are you? Oh, finally it's working. My chat, for whatever reason, has been telling me to log into chat and all kind of stupid stuff. I do also need to update my OBS too because I noticed that Nutty is able to show his account's dashboard where he shows like, I think the last couple of streams he showed his account's dashboard, the same one that I have, that shows the accounts and everything. If I can get that to work, I'm gonna have to change my entire layout, but I'll change my layout so that you guys can see the accounts being updated in real time since we have Tradeovate now. So the way I was doing it before is not, well, I guess it could still work with this layout. I would just crop it to only show the P&L. And then at the end, at the end of the streams, I'll continue doing what I've been doing where I show the account name and all that, or number and all that other stuff. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? So yeah, I took this one trade right here. I forgot to turn the auto liquidation off of the PA, so thankfully it didn't copy because it lost. And then like I said, I did miss 3 trades, 1 winner and 2 break evens. 28, all right. But aside from that, it's been a pretty kind of slow morning, honestly. Oh, let me make sure I have. So the goal is like always, once I hit, or if I can hit 200, once I hit the daily goal or loss in the PA, I'll switch over to Top Step. Hopefully I can do that today because all last week I think Monday, Tuesday. One of the days last week I actually did hit it and switched over, but yeah, I just didn't take any trades after that. Good morning. Good morning, Applejacks. Do you know anything about Apex evals and PAs? Got an email saying on probation and would be considered for live account. I've never So that seems kind of counterproductive, Trav, because I don't understand how you would get an email saying that you're on probation, but you're also being considered for a live account, because why would they put someone in a live account that they have on probation? You've never broken rule. Okay. Actually, let me take that back, because I did hear recently that if you are being considered, and I don't know if this is true because I didn't hear from a staff member, it was kind of like a hearsay type of thing, but I did hear that if you are being considered for a live account, that they would put you on probation. I guess maybe like, I don't know if maybe on the back end on their side that it helps them to keep up with you. I feel like just give me a different status than probation, please. Because from my understanding, if you're on probation, in order for you to withdraw, you have to be over a safety net. And if you haven't broken any rules or anything like that, like for me, don't give me a safety net that I have to, deal with when just because you're trying to see if I'll go live, you know what I mean? But yes, I have heard that. So if you are on probation, but you got that email about being considered for live, then yes, that's probably why you're on probation. Which good luck with that. Are you considering going live if they ask you? We kind of talk about that here and there here. Very confusing. Yeah, I think that's why it is. Good morning, Bill. Yeah, I've had people inboxing me on Discord about going live in prop firms and just all kind of stuff recently. And he was just saying, like, how do you avoid it when these props, a lot of props, you know, outside of Apex only allow you to cap out at so much in an account or total before you know, they move you to live. And I just told him, I said, well, if you know that a prop caps you out at 50,000 in one account before taking you live, get to 49 and blow it. I probably shouldn't have told him that, but that's what they said in the email, that I have to have a safety net if I want to. Yeah, I don't like that. You've only had 13 payouts and not really wanting to go live. So even though you only have 13 payouts, approximately how much do you have in your accounts right now total? And remember that just because they're considering you going live doesn't mean that they'll be asking you to go live in a week or anything like that. It's just to let you know, hey, we're looking at you type of thing. Like, even I've seen people that trade with Top Step say that they get it, and I saw that a Top Step rep in the Discord was like, oh, well, that's automatically sent out when you reach a certain profit in a day or something like that, or maybe a total I can't remember, but they said that it was automated. But I don't like probation requiring a safety net just because you are considering me going live. I feel like that is completely unacceptable, and it's not fair to you because you basically are being put in the same rule set as someone who was put in because they have a high number of evals or PAs, or you know, they've been breaking DCA rules consistently and things like that. I don't think that you should be subjected to the same rules as those people. I mean, it's not my company, so I guess it doesn't matter, but I don't, that's kind of unacceptable. Not kind of, it is unacceptable to me. The most has been not even been close to payout cap on either payout. You too, Bill. You too. Good morning, Nacho. How are you this morning? So, Trav, the most has been 9,000. But okay, so right now though, how much profit do you have total across all the accounts that you have at the moment? Is that 18? I should have got into that sale. I'll try for it. It might take off though. Yep, it just did. I haven't been getting these divergence trades very much, so good morning, Granny. So whenever they happen, I just completely zone out. 34. I have also seen recently, so now I know that there are people that are getting denied, right? And I am not the YouTuber or ex Apex mod who believes that everyone who gets denied is breaking rules. I think that that is very naive and inconsiderate for people to say that. But I did just recently see two people. There's a chick who has, I think she requested 500K and got denied. And the worst part with hers is her lowest account PA that she was requesting from is number 2. Like, and I think her highest number of trading days on one account is like 200 and something. showing that she's been extremely consistent. Now, she could have possibly been denied initially just for them to, I don't know, investigate, just make sure that that she hasn't been breaking rules. But she did say that she has sent in videos, like she's been part of that video crew. So she's just like super confused, and I'm confused as well. There's another guy. I forgot how much he requested, but between the two of them, they requested, or they have in their account total profit like between $700,000 and $900,000. So it's real. That's how I'm looking at them. That's the only way I can describe it. But it's also honestly a testament as to why you really shouldn't build these huge buffers or whatever in the accounts, because let's be real, we are liabilities. That's why I don't like when companies, portray the for traders by traders, your success is our success, like things like that, because at the end of the day, that's not true. You're a prop firm, you make your money off of people failing, okay? But knowing that, we as traders have to be a little smarter and a little more diligent, and just realize that because we are liabilities, we should not have too much buffer in our accounts, right? And this is not giving Apex any type of excuse. Y'all know I do not do that here. But I just personally would not do it. That is why, as much as I've been preaching over the last 9 months, like, no, I'm going to take every trade in the session, that is not true anymore, because I'm smart enough to see what's happening to other people and recognize that I don't want that to happen to me. So I'm going to play the game, keep everything low. The goal is to get to $3,000 in a $50,000 in a 50K account before I withdraw $2,000, just so I can have $1,000 buffer. And guess what? My only goal is to make that same $2,000, just $2,000, not $3,000 the next time. Make $3,000 initially, so I can have $1,000 buffer, and from there make $2,000 every 2 weeks. Withdraw that $2,000 and keep repeating the pattern. That's it. That's it. That's all I would personally do. I don't trust these people. Not even the slightest. Only 16? Yeah, Trav, that's a little weird that you... Why are you considering me for live and only have $16,000 profit across all my accounts? Like, that's one of the reasons why people like Apex, is because you don't have to have, they allow you to trade and sim funded for way longer than other companies do. So that's a little awkward. Oh, I'll tell her, Janelle, I got you. I got you. I'll be like, my trading friend said hi, Granny. Oh, Bill, I hope you get better. I thought you were already feeling better. No more prop firms use it. Exactly, Janelle. Just use them as part-time leverage and leave it there. I just don't. Again, just like, for me, you guys, so you guys know, I only plan to trade these two prop firms as it, Apex and Top Step. If anything ever happens to Apex, well, then I need to find some Trade of 8 accounts elsewhere. But if I were looking at different prop firms, like, I am that person where I'm gonna look at certain things that you have on your website, and if I see certain things where I'm like, no, that's not true, I'm just not even gonna do it. Because I just don't like, I get it from a marketing perspective that you're trying to appeal to certain people, but don't lie to me. You are not for me. If I am too profitable, I fuck up your bottom line, so don't say that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to each their own. But I just, seeing those two, I'm like, that's a little, I don't know. And then I was told that Kane, the one who got the almost $2 million payout, I was told that they closed his accounts, even though, I mean, obviously if you withdraw that much, they're considering you for live, right? But he hasn't heard back about going live, so he's like super confused. And there are, I believe there's someone who said that they've been waiting, it might have been him, they've been waiting to hear back about live since like August. And for me, it's like, well, if you ain't ready for me to go live, don't, like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I just don't like certain things. I am a huge proponent of communication and how important good communication is with your client base. Like, so much so, you guys, that when I had my credit repair business, and any of my clients would tell you this, from the moment they came in as a free lead, and I'm doing like a free credit analysis where I go through their entire credit report. So what I would do is, like, a lot of credit repair companies would do their credit analysis over the phone because they're trying to tie you into the sale while you're on the phone. I don't have time for that. Okay. So what I would do is, whenever I gave out free credit analysis as like my entryway of trying to get you into my program, I would go through the credit report, like screen record, and all of that. Hold on, 23. I would screen record my screen as I'm going through. It would be maybe like a 5-minute video, maybe 7 minutes, depending on how many derogatory items someone had. And I would record the video, embed it into a PDF where I had like all of this educational material and helping them to understand how their credit score is calculated and just different things like that. And then at the very end of the PDF, right where the video was kind of embedded, it would basically be like, look, you qualify for the program, blah, 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 or hey, you don't qualify for this reason. When I tell you guys, I was able to get so many customers and I never had to talk to them on the phone. And even after someone became my customer, because I had over 150 automations in my company. Okay. So for me, I knew that if I could communicate automatically as much as possible on certain timelines when certain updates came, that number one, I wouldn't have to spend so much time doing customer service. But number two, it made my customers feel so at ease, and they felt like they were always aware of where they were in the process. So it was never a question as far as what was going on with their accounts or anything like that. When there was payments coming up, they got automated reminders, just different things like that. So for me, I know on the back end how easy it is to communicate with people, whether you have a smaller business or a big business. So when I see people saying that they've been waiting months to hear back, it's just unacceptable because it's not that difficult. You need to have a team that is specifically for people who, like, let's say the fraud team, right? Some of these people who have said that they've been waiting for months, they probably have, like, their accounts are with the fraud team. Well, your fraud team, yes, okay. Let's say that you have somebody that committed a crime and the FBI or somebody is investigating. The FBI is not going to knock on your door and say, hey, just so you know, we're investigating you. And these are the things that we're looking at because we're trying to fix. They don't do that. By the time the feds come to you, they have all the evidence that they need and, all of those things, right? So I understand why some people are not getting responses to certain things. However, it also does not take that long to do some of the investigations that they need to do for some of these people and their accounts. You don't have to tell them exactly what you're looking for, but you can at least say, hey, we're still in the process of doing our investigation, blah, blah, blah. Like, certain shit is just not okay. It's just not okay, and it's not going to ever be okay. It's just not. It's just not. Take care, everyone. All right, Bill. I hope you feel better. Get you some rest. And make sure you stay hydrated. Water is really important when you are sick. But yeah, some of this stuff is just a little too iffy for me, for my blood, okay? I don't know why I drew that. It's because I drew the zone wrong. Oh yeah, I wanted to download, shoot, I forgot. There's this one, I guess it's an indicator, I don't know, but it allows you to automatically color the zones. So I can draw it as a supply zone or as a demand zone versus all of them just being gold. Excuse me. Even though I pretty much treat it the same anyway, but Still, it's 9:20 already. All right, 14. Oh, that sucks. All right, I'm just gonna have to take it then. So, I didn't take this trade because we were so close to the zone where I would have to break even, and it pushed straight through it. It literally didn't matter. But I told you guys like last week that I have to determine like whether or not some of these trades I'm still just gonna take and then like, hey, just hit the break even button, because I mean that literally pushed straight through. But whenever we're close to this was the trade right here. So I would have gotten filled probably on this bar, not this one. And then right when the fill happened, I would break even here, but we just pushed straight through. So I have to determine whether or not I'm going to keep doing that, because there was a couple of trades last week that won as well that I didn't get into because we were so close to the break even level. But also, let's see. 3, 6. I guess I could have chanced that one. That one was like 9 ticks away from the break-even level. So maybe I need to kind of like gauge it with my eyes as far as like how close we are to the level. And if we're like more than so many ticks, then I'll just go ahead and take the trade, because it probably only affects me when it's like, oh, we're 2 ticks away or we're 3 ticks away. I think 9 ticks is more than enough room to attempt to push, because regardless, I had to break even here, whether it was at the green level or the major resistance level right there. But yeah, that was literally a perfect setup. It was so close to that level, I didn't want to take it. So I'll work on that, because I basically would be done for the day in my PA and trading my Top Step account at this point. I wouldn't have sat out of the 4 trades. You just received the same email about going live or about probation? Okay, wait. Let us know. Or both. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if Apex is trying to take people live a lot quicker than they have been, which I mean from a liquidity standpoint, that's what they should be doing, right? However, if you're going to be doing that, I don't think people will be as attracted to the company as they have been, because that kind of was the one up that Apex had, was that they had so much available money that you didn't have to go live so quickly, you know. 87. Very interesting. There's a lot building up in this. The sellers are trying. Oh, they did it. I was gonna say the sellers are trying to take back over. It's gonna take a lot for that to work out. Yeah. Here we go. Here we fucking go. Are you gonna go where I want you to go? Just at 32. No? And that's annoying because I could have gotten in for the flip here. What do I want to do? I kind of want to stop trading, but I am just on the well, I do have the daily loss there, so if we hit it, it is what it is. I do want to make it 200 though, not 250. We'll go 200 each way. I guarantee you if I look at the I'm gonna go, of course, when I journal, I'm gonna look at that particular pattern. I can almost guarantee you it's the pattern because where's my, I need to make certain rules a little bit more strict for like 2 of my setups, and I know that that's the problem there. Apex will be monitoring my current PAs, will not be allowing me to get any. Wait, you what? With the runners I take in my PAs gotta start. Really? But what's, I don't, hold on. I don't get it. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I think I want to keep that as. Alright, yeah, we might make that a little bit more strict, which would make sense why. Just looking at the little chart I have, I need to make another one of these actually. Like, why would you have a, first of all, why can't you get new evals? What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, they are gonna lose a lot. I mean, they've already lost a lot of people. I genuinely don't understand how, I mean, and obviously we don't know all these people that are on the payout page, so not to say that they are fake people, but it's not like we can verify the authenticity of it, right? But I genuinely don't understand how they are still kind of maintaining their numbers, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't they pay out 32 million last month? But the previous 2 or 3 months was 35 million. I don't understand how they're around that same number, if I'm being completely honest. Like, it's just, it's too many people that you see leaving. I don't know. All the more reason to leave, switch to trading my, absolutely. And that's why we talk about that all the time. Like, legit, I just want my strategy to be solidified, and whatever money that I'm able to get out of props before they consider me for live or try to force me to go live, I'm going to make sure a great percentage of the money that I withdraw, besides paying myself back for the money that I've lived off of for the last 2 years while I took a break from life. Besides that and paying my mom's house off, I just want to fund my personal account and keep it moving. I do. Because some stuff just kind of like doesn't make sense. I need more water. I'll be right back. It's killing me. But yeah, I wonder like if it does have to do something, have something to do with them not liking the runners you take on your account. That's even crazier because does that not show that I know what the fuck I'm doing? All right, we're in a consolidation zone. We've actually been in this consolidated area since pretty much about right here. So until we either break 115.25 or we break wait, is that where? Oh yeah, we're definitely consolidating because the zones are literally on, the change zones are on top of each other. So the one I already had drawn was where we changed to an uptrend, but it's also very close to where we'll change to a downtrend. So that lets me know we're definitely heavily consolidating. I'm just not liking the results so far today. But at the same time, if I didn't miss out of trades and sit out of trades, I would be break even. So I can't be mad at anybody but myself. But you guys also know that I'm trying to make sure the strategy doesn't incur too many losses in a day. So I also need to go through those particular trades to see if there's a pattern I'm missing. A pattern that I'm like not seeing that causes losses a lot, which because there's so many variables in my setups, it's very easy to not know if a certain pattern gives you losses consistently, because if that exact pattern doesn't come but once a week, then you just won't know. Twice a week, you just won't know until you gather enough data. So we really need to kind of break, I would say 60 down here, 66 or 60, somewhere down here for it to really attempt the downtrend, because we're already rejecting. I have 2 express accounts with Top Steps, 2 evals with Elite Trader. Are you going to max out at Top Step at the 5, or are you going to try to stay at just 2? Oh, wow. All right. Is there news about the email that went out that looks like a new probation status email? Lots of people getting that this morning. It is real. Sounds like a new step before live, which is cool. Hopefully that quality assurance. So it is real, Janelle. I can confirm that. Oh, and I see the email myself. All right, hold on, cause hold please. No, that's definitely not. There was a lot of delta here. $41. Yeah. Mm. Mm. They're in there discussing that live email. Here's my thing. You're considering me going live. You don't know if you're going to take me live. So why would you prevent me from buying new evals? It sounds like you see that I'm a profitable trader and you're trying to prevent me from making more money, which, okay, but I don't know. Again, like Janelle said, all the more reason to just trade a live account. Only keeping the tops up until I crash them out. I feel you. All right, I actually want to read this, but I cannot read it on my phone. My eyes are too bad. I'm gonna open up my Discord so I can see it. I'm telling you guys right now, they are kind of gonna screw themselves with certain things. And here's the thing. We literally just asked about the thing that's showing up on people's dashboards saying that they can't buy more evals, and we were told it was a glitch. And this is one of the reasons why some of the mods were so unhappy with the lack of communication and just the plain, like, just tell us, like, hey, we can't release that information yet as to why, and leave it there. Don't tell us that it's a glitch, because now come to find out it's not a glitch, and the people who are seeing it are probably all the people who were seeing that on their dashboard are probably all the people who just got that email today telling them that they can't buy more evals because they're considering them to go live. So why lie and say that it's a glitch? Like, I don't, whatever. Absolutely not, Trav. Good morning, new trader. Good morning, good morning. No, Trav, I just saw the email posted in a private chat. No, they would not be able to consider me to go live. I literally just started trading. This PA that I'm trading right now, I've had it since March, and this is my very first PA, and I'm just now starting to trade it. So no, they definitely would not consider me for live. But yeah. I want to, did I just close it by accident? All right, I want to look at this. Thank you for being a valued PA account member of Apex Trader Funding. After a thorough review of your account and history, we are informing you that we are no longer able to provide any more new evaluation accounts to you. However, you may continue to trade any existing PA accounts and eval accounts you currently have. This includes resetting existing evals and converting them into PA accounts once you pass the current evals. But we will not be able to offer you any new evaluation accounts at this point. While new demo/simulation accounts are not available to you, we will be monitoring your trading in your PA accounts for potential moves for potential. So why are you cutting me off? As you trade your PA accounts, please ensure you adhere to your system rules, maintain discipline. Hold on. 32. Hold, please. All right, that just validated itself. Cool. As you trade your PA accounts, please ensure you adhere to your system rules, maintain discipline, consistency, and proper risk management. Since you will not have access to new evaluation accounts, it is crucial to focus on maintaining your current PA accounts for the long term, to trade them as if they were live funded accounts, and to show qualification and preparedness to move to a true live prop account. Make sure to build a sufficient cushion to stay within the Apex defined risk management guidelines. Over the next 30 days, we'll be evaluating your trades daily to assess your eligibility for transition into a live prop trading account. During this period, we will be looking for adherence to a defined system of rules for entries, stops, targets, trailing, and risk management, as well as compliance with the rules and guidelines of the PA contract. What's really weird is there's somebody who just received this who just blew all his accounts like a week ago. Now, he did have quite a bit in his accounts, and I think he was pending payout, if I'm not mistaken, when he blew them, or maybe he blew them after payout, but he literally blew all his accounts. So whatever, what do I know? Hold on, I clicked the wrong button. All right. Please ensure that during this observation period, you continue trading consistently in terms of trade volume, contract size, and system discipline. Be sure to follow consistent entry rules for your day-to-day systems, as staff may spot check or request information on random trades for chart markup, explanation of entry and rules, and to see that entries over various days or times are consistent with these same entry rules on various trades. Use stops on all trades and place them on the charts at the time of the trade. Mental stops are no longer permitted on your current PA accounts. Bitch, how you We'll get into that. I'm going to break this whole thing down. Maintain proper risks to reward ratios as outlined in the PA contract, ensuring that the maximum stop loss does not exceed 4 times your profit target or historical average profit. For example, if your average profit per trade is 10 ticks, your maximum stop loss should not exceed 30 to 40 ticks max. And the market cannot pull down against you beyond this during an open trade. This will be monitored to assure proper risk management. Note that DCA trades of any kind are not allowed on these PA accounts during this time. Only one entry will be allowed. Additional entries, even a single additional entry, will not be allowed if the market is going against you. You may enter as many times as you like, layering in if the market is going in the favor and direction of your original system entry. Your PA accounts will be on probation status, requiring a safety net to be maintained for any withdrawal request to ensure a cushion is built in these accounts and for potential live prop. Meaning, for example, if you have a 50K account, the minimum balance required to request is 52.6. This amount must remain in the account, and you may request amounts above 52.6. For a list of minimum amounts required on all account size, please see here. Thank you for your attention to this notice. We look forward to reviewing your accounts and trading performance over the next 30 days as we consider you for a move to a live prop trading account. Congrats on reaching this stage, and we wish you continued success in your trading endeavors. All right. I've always just made one trade a day for 200 and I just quit after that for the day. That is why I'm surprised. Actually, Trav, I'm not going to lie. That's my daily goal. Like, I don't want to make more than that for various reasons. We're witnessing the mighty fall of Apex. I agree, Applejacks. They're saying you either going live or you done. So I wonder if they remove you if you do not make it live, or they just ban you. So what I was always told was that, like, you know, before, the only people that they ever really considered for live was after you withdrawn $1 million, or have $1 million sitting in profit across all of your accounts. If you decline to go live, which I don't know personally, I only know one person. Was he asked to go live? I'm pretty sure his name is Jeremy. If you look at Nutty's last video, he withdrew a pretty large amount, and I know that he's a real person because I remember him when I first started with Apex, and I used to be really, really active in the Facebook group. He's been in there this entire time, like documenting his journey and everything. But anyway, if you did decline to go live, there was a probationary period where you just could not trade with Apex. That's what happened to Vince and, you know, some others who decided not to go live with Apex, which, as we have talked about various times on this channel, I wouldn't suggest anybody go live with any prop firm, just personally. Because why pay professional data fees? Why declare yourself as a professional? Why pay $100+ a month per exchange when you could just pay $4 per month per exchange and go to a personal account? Now, if I'm not mistaken, certain props, like if you decline to go live, and you decide to withdraw your money, I think some of them only give you like 50%, which is unacceptable, but whatever, that's their rules, their house, their rules. But I think that the time that you have to sit out from Apex is like a year. I'll take my year and go about my business. Okay, see you in a year. I'm not going live. I'm not. I'm just not. And I don't think anyone should. All right, let's see if this 1 bar pullback ends up working out. I don't think it's going to. It looks like it's trying to reject at the VWAP. After I see if this trade is gonna work out, I'm gonna like break that email down and just talk about it a little bit. 28. I wonder if I could still take that. We'll see. Because at this point, not that I don't care about this PA, but I kind of don't. As much as obviously I want to pay out on it first before it blows, you know? But at some point it has to go, because that's the only way for me to still trade both props at the same time. 28. But yeah, let's break this down. But hold on, let me just make sure I'm not gonna miss a trade in the process. All right, so first of all, for some people, doesn't seem like the likes of this community, but for some people, going live is like, being asked to go live is like a joyous occasion, right? It's something that it's a goal of theirs, right? So to start off, what should be a positive email for some, hey, you're considering me going live, to start that off with the negativity of you can't buy more eval accounts is insane. Like, why would you start the email off that way? That's number one. Number two, what I do not like, okay, let's say Top Step, for instance. Top Step, your evals have 50% consistency, but you don't have to worry about that in PA, and you don't have any rules basically in PA. Just, you know, hit your profit target, or whatever, you know, the minimum of $200 times 5 days, and you can withdraw. What I do not like, and what I have not liked for a while, I'm okay with them allowing you to do whatever the hell you want to in evals. Apex, I'm talking about Apex right now. I'm okay with that, because and the only reason why I'm okay with it is because you do have a substantial number of people who have great trading systems, and they just don't like the eval process. So allowing them to YOLO, trade nude, allowing them to do whatever the hell they want to do while this 1 day pass is going so that they can immediately get into PA accounts, I'm all for it, right? Especially because, let's be honest here, Apex has so many rules and none of them can be completely automated because they have to have these people who are looking at your account to make sure that you did not break any of the rules in order for you to get your payout approved. So it's impossible for them to enforce the same rules from PA and evals because it would take too much manpower. Okay, so that's the other problem. However, what I do not like is you telling me in all my other PA accounts, I can DCA, I just can't add more than once. You know, I can use mental stops as long as my average is not more than a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You don't care. So now you've allowed me to make money, to create a trading system that follows your rules of mental stops, of I can add one time to a negative trade and all these other things. And now you're saying, oh, hey, buddy, slow down. I know we've gone from no restrictions to some restrictions, but now you're completely restricted from other things that I allowed you to do this entire time, that your entire system is based upon. Now you can't do it because we might want you to go live, and it's not okay for my live account, but it's okay for me to pay you out and send funded. That is completely unacceptable to me. It just is. I don't like it, because if allowing DCA one time has been okay this entire time I've been trading, and maybe that's part of what helps me to be profitable with my trading system, how am I supposed to now completely change that and still have a profitable system? You're basically forcing me to create a whole new system at this point, right? Because, okay, if I trade support and resistance and I always get in at the middle, and if it breaks the middle, I get in a certain number of ticks, you know, beyond the bottom or something, right? And that helps me to be profitable. Well, now you're only allowing one entry. So do I chance not being entered into the trade because now I just want to put my entry down here below the zone, right? Or do I chance possibly being completely stopped out with just the one? Like, it's just, that's not cool to me. That's not cool. And starting the email off telling me I can't buy nothing else is crazy. You've literally started off with complete negativity. Why would I even want to be considered for live at this point? That's crazy to me. I don't get it. And then, so let's go back to the email. Requiring the safety net. I mean, are you only requiring the safety net because you don't want me to blow the accounts? Which, if that's the case, just fucking require the safety net from the beginning. I ain't telling them that I want a safety net. But you have companies like Bulenox, you have to have a safety net at all times in order to withdraw. So, and what they don't understand is a lot of the things that they've been doing over the last, I would say since June, like, whether you have a liquidity issue or not, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Because why all of a sudden do these things matter? I was okay with them enforcing DC out of nowhere. It was already in the PA contract anyway. And if you guys notice, they started doing that after the guy, I think it's Live Mic Trader. I think I saw somewhere that he was like a huge DCAer. And Nacho is as well, which he talks about all the time. Hey, if I'm going to trade with a prop, they need to be DCA friendly because that's how I trade, right? So I'm okay with them enforcing that, because I even said from the beginning that the way that certain people DCA, it does not work for my mindset, right? Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't want to continue adding to a loser. That's just me. But it obviously works for some people. There are people who have gotten $1 million payouts. There are people who have over 300, 200, 300, $400,000 in payouts from doing that. So it obviously works to a certain extent, right? It just doesn't work for my brain. But if I was a prop firm, I wouldn't want to put somebody live who trades like that myself, right? There are certain things where it's like, I get why that's your rule, cool. But some of this shit just literally doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, and I don't know if it ever will, because of my own personal thought process, right? Some stuff just doesn't make sense to me. None of this is shocking to me. Once I've seen certain shit 8 months ago, I expected worse than this. Really? I don't know. I guess not that I've been oblivious, because I haven't been. You know, I will call anybody out for BS. I think I've been so focused on developing my strategy that, not to say that I didn't care what was going on with different companies, right? But I kind of didn't care because it didn't matter, because I wasn't ready to trade for money yet anyway, right? And then also in the back of my mind was, if a company was to go belly up while I'm in the process of still developing my strategy, it's cool, because I can always use a different prop, or at that point I can use a sim account if I feel like, you know what, I really don't want to trade with this prop firm once everything is all said and done. Because I've had people like, why don't you just trade sim accounts this whole time? Well, if I want to trade with Apex, then I want Apex accounts, because I want to make sure that my strategy can withstand the trail and drawdown and all these different things. And some of that was before I really started scalping, because as a scalper, if I'm hitting my trail and drawdown, well, that just means that my strategy fucking sucks, because it's not like I have runners going or anything like that. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I think part of it is just I've been so focused on like what I'm trying to do that I haven't really paid a lot of attention to what some companies are doing, you know, including Apex. And that's also one of the many, many reasons why I've never been the person to defend them. I literally hate when people try to tell me that I'm defending Apex because of an opinion I have based on whatever limited information that is available to me. I repeat, I am never going to defend a company that is not mine. I don't know what these people are doing behind closed doors. I would never. Can I have an educated discussion based on knowledge that we have? Absolutely. I am a very unbiased person in real life. Okay. So for me, I can make an unbiased judgment and say, hey, I understand why they do this. If I had a company, I would do the same thing. Or, hey, this look a little sus, or, you know, whatever the case may be, I can do that with no problem. Even when it came to the video stuff, I can understand why they would do the video stuff. I mean, do y'all not see all the ads on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube about trading your accounts for you? Absolutely, I understand why you require videos. However, what I do not understand is why you require videos at a time when you were already taking 2 damn weeks to approve people. So you obviously didn't have the manpower. And although I get that you're trying to prevent payouts to people who do not deserve it, because I don't think that you deserve to get payouts if you cannot trade. This is prop firms were designed, the retail prop firms were designed, number one, to make money off of people who can't trade, but number two, to attempt to take some people live, right? So if that really is your pathway, I don't want to fund someone who's just taking signals. I don't want to fund someone who somebody else is trading for them. I don't want to do that. I just don't. So I get it. You want me to take videos and make sure I'm showing you my mouse clicks, and I get that. However, I also don't think that they thought about the fact that they have older people who trade with them. There is an older man in his 60s who's like, if I'm ever asked to do videos, I won't know how to do that. Or you have people, hey, I trade on my phone at work. There's literally no way to do videos if they were to ask me to. They didn't think about certain stuff like that, right? But in the process of you trying to protect your company, which you should do as a business owner, that is your job to do, right? You are losing a lot of people because some of the shit that you're asking people to do doesn't make sense. Like, think about when Top Step tells you that they're reviewing you for live. Hey, just wanted you to know we're monitoring your accounts with, for live, da 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 da. It's such a positive email. And they don't tell you, oh, and in the meantime, you can't buy shit else. Like, what? What? Like, so if you are considering me for going live, obviously I'm a profitable trader to a certain extent, right? But you telling me that I can't buy more evals and that now I have to trade with even more restriction and things like that, it sounds like you are having a liquidity issue. Again, I'm not saying that they do, but from the outside looking in, that's exactly what it looks like. You're trying to prevent the profitable traders from making more money, even though you don't even know if you want to take me live or not. You just said that you're considering it. And now I have to, and let me tell y'all something about this probation status. I just want to be 100% clear with you guys. Okay? First of all, the email tells you we're going to review your accounts and trading performance over the next 30 days. Now, let me tell you something. The people who are on probation for not considering to go live, I'm going to just let you know, if they are following the same probation rules, which it kind of sounds like they are, it ain't 30 days, it's 30 trading days. And even then, you don't know when you're getting off. You do not get responses when you ask about, hey, when am I getting off probation? I've taken 3 payouts above the safety net. When am I going to be considered being taken off of probation? You are not going to get an answer. Okay? So I'm very curious to see towards the end of, let's just say the middle of, let's say the middle of November. Because like I said, I don't think it's actually 30 days. I think it's 30 trading days. Let's see, 17. Damn it, I couldn't take that. I'm curious to see how many people actually go live. I'm curious. And let's say that somebody genuinely blows their accounts, right? They don't do it purposely. They genuinely blow their accounts during this process. Are they now able to buy evals again? Like, what's this process? 64. Nope. Bait and switch rule system. The increase of payouts are cutting into. Absolutely. Because let's be real. Everybody knows that the vast majority of people who trade are not profitable, and some people will probably never be profitable, and most of the time it's because people are going to quit first, right? So prop firms bank on that, period. There's nothing to think about. We know that, right? And I feel like too many people are becoming profitable. Like, yeah, those big numbers are real cute to brag about as far as like what your payouts are and stuff like that, but the reality is we know that it's eating into your profits at the end of the day. So I don't know, y'all. All right, I'm actually, do I want to do it? I don't think, oh, it didn't even go. I was going to take this setup going back up. That's something that I've been looking at. Well, I haven't started trading yet. And at this point, I just, like I've been preaching for months, just take every damn trade. It doesn't matter. Because even if I incur losses, my strategy is fairly set at this point. So I should be able to make it up. After the 30 days, they'll probably let you buy more. I don't know, Trenches. It don't sound too hot. You got London tomorrow. There's hot impact news tomorrow. I didn't even do my journal for the week. Trader can't put a dent in shit. And did. I told y'all, I'm very surprised they let him trade as long as they did. Oh yeah, it is 9 a.m. high impact news tomorrow. I'm surprised. Because most of the time, once you've accumulated 1 million, hey, Get this payout. We done with you. That's it. 49. Can't trade after. Doesn't matter. Yeah, trader can't put it up for everybody. And that's the other thing. Like, 61. How did that turn into 61 so fast? 41. When you pay people out like that, but then you have all these other people who, and you know, I've never been the you only pay YouTubers. Like, that's not true. First of all, I saw somebody say they only paid him because he's a YouTuber. He ain't even a goddamn on YouTuber. Shut the fuck up. But anyway, it does look bad when you pay somebody out $2 million, but you have these people like the Owl Girl with 500,000, the other guy, I forget his name, with a couple 100,000. Like, why you ain't paid him? I just be confuzzled, y'all. I be confuzzled. 41. Stop. I can't even take that. And I knew it was gonna drop too, but my rules say I can't take it, so. Started trading Buell and Ox in my funded futures last month, and it's been much better. Payout on was submitted. Yeah, I heard that my funded futures pays very quickly. I'm not a fan of CEO banter back and forth on social media. So that's kind of unattractive for me. Now that wouldn't deter me from trading with the company as long as the owner is not openly racist. I'm still cool with trading with them. But I can't trade with my funded futures because of their micro scalping rule of requiring 5 points. My strategy is 4.5 and I'm not changing it. And then also whatever the number of seconds you have to hold a trade, my average is like less than 7 seconds. I think 8 seconds might be my average. So yeah, that just wouldn't work for me. Funded a little personal account. I'm ready to get away from these extra rules. Ooh, Applejacks, we love it. I love it. I build Chanel. I don't have time for this. I feel you. Yeah, anybody that doesn't micro scalp, my funded futures might be the way to go for you. However, also I have been seeing more denied payouts from them, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if this is right, but it looks like sometimes that they KYC the profitable traders and then deny them the KYC. That's what it looks like. They deny the KYC. They do not. So you know how like with Apex, if you fail the KYC, they'll allow you to send something in. That's twice. They'll allow you to send in a ticket with everything that you need so you can verify your identity. They don't do that. They just tell you failed and that's that. Not a good look. What's that? 33. There's still. Oh, don't do that. It's like flipping back and forth, bro. Oh, I guess we're just gonna reject instead. Yay, a win. How exciting. All right, I'm basically back break even on the PA. All right, how much time we got? 30 minutes. The interesting thing is this is the same trade I lost earlier before I got on the stream, but there was one component that made it a little iffy. The divergence trades in the same direction of the overall trend are literally my favorite trade, my favorite setups. Because they do not lose very often, so I love them. It's just they don't set up a lot. Excuse me. They do not set up a lot. Still some level of consolidation, just a tad. If we change back to an uptrend, we're gonna change exactly where we changed to a downtrend, which is not a good sign because that means that we didn't really push that bar. I mean, we kind of did, but let's see, we pushed about 150 ticks or so, but still not a lot. Payout within 2 hours is crazy. Yeah, and yeah, it's in your rise account. They do not play. Went to the Chicago Football Classic Saturday. Morehouse tweaked in the fourth quarter and lost. It was a good game though. I didn't even know Morehouse had a football team. I did not know. I literally did not know that they had a football team. Bears got beat by their equal. I got a therapy consultation Wednesday because there's too much going on. Applejacks, do it. Did I ever tell you guys about my therapy experience and why I haven't been back? I literally, that's so crazy you brought that up because I was just talking to my bonus dad and my grandma about this yesterday. Because so I've been meaning to reach out to my bonus dad for like over a month, right? And I've just been so busy with finishing this strategy that I literally have just not had time for literally anything at this point, right? And oh, do I take this? Yep, because why not? 53. Oh, no. I gotta break even. I don't know why I thought that number was 20 something. It was 67. I'm glad I went back and looked. Watch it win. It's not a valid trade, guys. It's not a valid trade. And I think I just lost commissions on that. On my follower account on the PA. Sorry, they don't respond. The game was so painful to watch. No one does. All right, listen. So this was my therapy experience. This was like years ago before all of the crap with my donor. So I decided to go to therapy. I feel like this lady was recommended to me. She was an older Black lady, so immediately it was like a grandma feel almost, you know what I mean? And so I felt like super comfortable. Now for me personally, I'm comfortable with pretty much anyone. There's nothing that's embarrassing for me personally. Like, sharing my story, sharing my experiences, there's nothing embarrassing about any part of it. I don't ever feel like, I don't know. I'm a private person, don't get me wrong, but I love sharing my experiences because I feel like it can help people, right? So immediately I was super comfortable with her. I'm telling her like, you know, just about my experience growing up in a household with two parents who don't argue don't fight, don't anything. Like, as great of a life as that sounds, it's actually more toxic than you think. Because it's not fucking normal. And I understand that on one hand, you know, you don't want your children to experience certain things, but on the other hand, some things are healthy for them to experience. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm talking to this lady, I'm telling her how, I have a father who's physically present, who I don't feel like I have an emotional connection to in any way, shape, or form. I don't feel comfortable talking to him about anything that goes on in my life. And I told her part of the reasons. Like, I don't know if I ever told you guys, but like, I was the S word for a long time, since I was like 10 years old. And I suffered from depression, anxiety, panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Like, my panic attacks a lot of times will wake me up out of my sleep. Like, I would feel like I'm dying. So I was telling her like all of those things or whatever. And I told her how like it was one time where I remember I was in college. I'm pretty sure I was probably like 18 or 19. And I had wrote this note to my parents, like just explaining how I was the S word, and how I just did not want to live anymore, and how I was just so depressed and I was just crying all the time and all these other things. And that man looked at that letter and said, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You have no reason to be depressed. You have a roof over your head and food in your belly. This doesn't make sense." So when that same man comes to me later on in life, like, "You never talk to me about things. Other people's kids can talk to me about things." And da, da, da. Like, nigga, why would I talk to you, idiot? But anyway, so I was telling this lady that, and I was telling her how, like, I always felt like I was abandoned, more so emotionally. I've never been abandoned physically, ever. But I always felt like I was emotionally abandoned. My sister was born premature. I was like 2.5 when my sister was born. So obviously you get like a certain level of attention when you're premature, because, she had to endure a lot. I get it. But that continued on as we got older. And it was just like, I was kind of like put off to the side. And when you ask it, my granny would come in here and tell you, she's apologized to me so many times in my adulthood because she did the same. Everybody did it. She was like, it's almost like we just forgot that she wasn't a baby anymore and blah, 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 whatever. And, the excuse was always, well, you just like to be to yourself and da 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 da. Like, well, yeah, but do you know why? So I'm telling this lady all of this stuff, right? And I remember coming home from that session, and my mom was like so excited to know how it went. And I was like, well, it went great. I was like, but she did tell me that I need to stop trying to have functional relationships with dysfunctional people. My mom went ballistic. She was not happy. I'm not dysfunctional. Like, she was not happy with it. But that was mainly for the donor. But either way, so the lady had told me, like, I'm in the process of opening my own firm. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, not firm, whatever. My own office, my own practice. Practice is what I meant. My own practice, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So it might be a couple of weeks. All right, cool. Y'all, I called this lady so many times, like after waiting a month, and she never answered. I don't know if the lady died. I don't know what happened to her, but she was just gone. She just vanished. And it literally re-triggered all of my emotional abandonment. I mean, I could laugh about it now, but it literally re-triggered all of my emotional abandonment, because I'm like, I felt so safe with her and I just told her so much, and I was looking forward to just like the next session and blah, blah, blah. And then she just abandoned. Now, if the lady died, rest in peace. I'm sorry, lady. But I was just like, this lady just abandoned me. So now I don't trust anyone, and I don't want to talk to anyone else. And I haven't been to therapy since. Yeah. Oh no, Applejacks. Yeah, that is very rough. Like, for me, that dealing with that and dealing with all the things that I've told you guys that I've kind of dealt with as far as like psych stuff is one of the reasons why I got into psych. because I feel like there are so, first of all, there's a lot of nurses and healthcare professionals who get into it for the money anyway. We already know that, right? But I feel like psych is such a delicate specialty. And not to say that if you've never dealt with any of those things, you can't empathize or sympathize with people. But I just feel like there's a certain level of empathy and sympathy that you cannot have because you don't get it. Like, it's not as easy as stop thinking about it, or, well, you're in your room all the time, or just go eat, or just walk outside, or just like, it's literally not that easy at all. That has probably been the hardest thing in life to deal with for me. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you guys, there was a guy who was a co-founder of the multi-million dollar network marketing company that I helped to found. And we were super cool, and we fell out because I remember, so I think I told you guys, like, when we started that company, my grandfather passed away like 70 something days later. And it was very hard for me because my grandma, who's still living, and her husband, my grandpa, they were like the biggest supporters of me in everything. My granny still. I'll be talking to her about stuff. She'll ask me because she's like, you know, I'm not super knowledgeable about that trading stuff, but can you da-da-da? Like, that's just her. Very supportive. And I remember that we had just started the company. And at the end of February, I had reached a new rank, and I had called them to like celebrate, you know, and tell them about it. They didn't answer because they were at my sister's basketball game. My sister was in college at the time. And I remember it was a Saturday. And so that Sunday I was like, I'm gonna call. I forgot to call. I got so busy. That Monday I'm gonna call. I forgot. I was just so busy. And like within a couple of days of the initial call, he died of a massive heart attack 7 days after a cardiologist told him he had the strongest heart he ever seen in a 73-year-old. So knowing that, like, I was supposed to call again, you know, that was very difficult for me. And because we had just started the company, I was the female face of the company. I couldn't just say, hey, I'm grieving. Fuck this shit. I don't want to do it. I couldn't do that. Like, I still had to be at events. I still had to speak on stage. I still had to train people. I still had to do voiceovers for company videos. I still had to do videos for the company. I still had to record videos for a financial wellness program that I still had to do all these things. There was only one time that I could really decline, like, not doing a speaking engagement. And that's because, like, literally days before, I had a dream that I was on stage and I looked in the very back left corner and my grandpa was sitting there watching me on stage, proud as hell, but he was watching me on stage. And I was like, yo, CEO, can't be there, can't do it, or I'll still come, but please don't put me on stage, please. But that was hard, right? It was like super freaking hard. And that experience there, like, was the exact reason why I'm very cautious when it comes to like certain things that I do. I'm very like in the moment with certain things because like I know how quickly things can turn and change, right? It was a lot. And like for me, being in psych was the most rewarding part of my nursing career. It did not matter if I was working long-term acute care, if I was working with people who were depressed because their husband left them, they were depressed because their kid ran away. Like it literally didn't matter. It didn't. And to be honest with you, working with people who it was more of an acute issue was way more rewarding. And nothing against people who have other issues like bipolar disorder and other things going on, but it was just certain things that like I would have people tell me, like, I've had patients, you are literally the nicest nurse I've ever dealt with in psych. And I'm like, because baby, been there. And I can empathize. It's hard. But going back to the guy and why we fell out. So I remember that I had disappeared for a while. And so I'm pretty sure it was over No, actually, it might have been through text. You know, I was telling him, I'm like, yo, I'm still doing bad, you know? And this is something that I've been dealing with since I was 10 years old. So it's not like I can control it, you know? And this man told me a chemical imbalance, which I've never been officially diagnosed from a psychiatrist, but I know what I have. Like, I'm a professional myself, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, a chemical imbalance. I mean, that's just not depression. Like, depressed is being married for such and such number of years and getting a divorce. Depressed is losing such and such amount of money and da 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 da. I said, I know this motherfucker didn't. Again, I can laugh about it now, but when I tell you I went the fuck off on him. I told the CEO, I am blocking him. Don't tell him, don't you ever. I don't care if we see each other in person. I'm not kikiing with you. We ain't hugging babies, kissing babies, and taking names. We ain't doing none of that. Don't stay away from me. And I absolutely meant it. And I had to explain to him, like, bro, first of all, you sound ridiculous, because the things that you are telling me is real depression are things that you can actually control. Like, what? Like, yeah, you might have lost some money in an investment, but you can make that money back. Yeah, you might have gotten divorced, but not to say who cares, but these are all things that at some point you can control, right? Maybe you wasn't a good husband. Hell, I don't fucking know. But either way, some of these things are things you can control. I can't control if I just can't get out of bed for 3 days. Like, I literally physically and mentally cannot move. I can't help if I wake up and I just have a crying spell for a week. I literally can't help it. What are we talking about? When I tell y'all, I literally told the CEO, when I see him, I want to punch him in the face. Not the CEO, but the guy who said, because why would you say something like that? But it's people like him who are the reason why just people in society just don't take mental health seriously. They don't. They really don't. A big hug to everyone in the chat. Oh, thank you, Janelle. Thank you. We twins for real with the dad experience. I'm telling you, Applejacks. I keep telling you, girl, we the same person. You don't be believing me. You don't believe me. Last time I tried therapy was the end of 2020. The lady always canceled on me at the last minute. See? Exactly, Applejacks. And it's like, why did you get into therapy if you know that I'm coming to you because I need you? And you always canceling on me. You need to go find a different profession, because this is a hobby to you at this point. Okay? My stepsister is a psychologist, and she always say her patients love her. In a joking way, I always tell her, because you were crazy yourself. Applejacks, yes, he is such a brother. But it does make it a lot easier to connect and be understanding. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to be understanding in practically almost every situation in life, unless you're harming people. I just will never understand that. I just don't. I question why people have no regard for human life. Like, is it because we've played too many video games, as if we could just come back to life? I just don't understand. I just don't feel like there is anything that would, number one, make me so angry that I want to unalive someone. I don't get it. Aside from, you know, obviously like gang stuff and things like that, like that's a whole nother life. I'm not talking about that. But there's just certain things where I'm like, that's number one. And number two, there is no one on this earth, not even my trash ass donor, that I will want to do anything to that is going to take away my freedom. Literally no one and nothing is worth my freedom. Ever. It's no way I'm going to be in a tiny cell for any amount of time, whether it's 3 months, 3 days, 3 hours. I don't want to do it. I don't want nobody telling me when I could shower, when I could go outside, when I could do this, when I could do. And I basically worked in a medium security jail. They don't call it that, but that's literally what it is. Most of those people are criminals. It's a locked facility. They have schedules of when they have rec time and when they have this and when they have that. Like, it's literally medium security jail without it being medium security jail. And although it's a more glorified way of it, because it's not a jail and you're not in a cell and things like that, like, no. I don't want to eat that food. I just don't want nothing to, it's just literally nothing that can make me want to do certain things. I don't get it. I really don't. Girl with that girl, I know the real. Today might be a Chick-fil-A day. I had first of all, I don't know. Okay, y'all know I don't really eat out like that, right? I usually, like, once a week I allow myself to eat from a fast food restaurant, and it's usually Steak and Shake, because now I have started getting the $5 meal with the burger and the fry. I don't really drink soda like that, so I don't really need a meal that has a soda. But I spend my little $5 and I keep it moving. Cool. But these places are expensive now. Why nobody told me? I went to Chick-fil-A and said, hey, I want a large mac and cheese. That's all I wanted. Just a little large mac and cheese. Y'all, it was $9. $9. Why? I'm about to get into a sale, by the way. I was so confused. And it hurt my heart and my pocket. But I paid that $9 because, baby, it was good. Oh, I'm not getting into a sale now. The buyers have taken over in this bar, and I don't want to trap here. I actually want a continuation. So maybe if we flip again. It doesn't look like we're going to flip again. Trying to watch the buildup of the, okay, nope, you flipped again. I don't think it wants to go down here. It's like 500 volume in this one candle. Definitely, I don't want to trap. I don't want to trap. Come on, put a little bit more in that level, that price level. Okay, we did. Okay, nope. We flipped back to a trap. Right, 17. I wanted to make sure I got the right number this time. It's still attempting to trap. Oh, but this is different. I don't think it's gonna reject here. We're trying. There's almost 1,000 volume in this candle now. We got multiple. I definitely am not gonna trade that bar if it happens. There's stacked imbalances too. Oh, they're trying to trap the buyers. So, all right, cool. Again, I don't want to trap. 1728. Fuck. Why are we flipping back and forth? Just close the bar. Oh, I have to pee so bad. It's trying. We're trying to reject at the prime high, but it's having some trouble. having some trouble. Oh, guess we try again. All right, I have to be careful and make sure that if we push here, ooh, I don't really like that entry, but whatever. I just didn't like the entry because we were kind of high up in the bar or whatever. And you guys know, usually when that happens, I'll just manually get out, but the break even was moving, so I wasn't worried about it. Now I want to see if we actually end up rejecting and or if I should have just manually moved the stops and stuff. We'll see. Oh, am I still in a trade? No. I thought I was still in a trade. So somehow I guess it took profit on my so my entry must have been pretty high up on the PA because I'm in profit now. So I had to make sure I wasn't still in a trade. Yeah, there's no pending orders here. It broke even on the leader account. But yeah, so I was wondering if I should have just manually moved everything back to where it's supposed to be, but no. I like to just, usually if it's this high up in the bar, I rather just manually break even anyway. You can see we came down to the prime high and we immediately reject it. I used to break even at the prime highs, but I don't have to anymore. So in times like that, it's just be grateful it wasn't a stop out and leave it there. Leave it there. Yeah, $9 steak and shake. The shoestring fries hurt my soul though. Those are my favorite. I don't like thick fries. My lunch yesterday was $16. Welcome to Mo's. Road trip? I don't like being in a car. Put me in a plane all day, every day, baby. I used to like Mo's when I lived in Iowa. Not there are people in Iowa. Furthermore, there are black people in Iowa. I'm sick of y'all. I am sick of y'all. Speaking of $16, my the best friend who trades, so there's this like grocery store around him that has like a hot bar that he really, really loves. And baby, he told me, I think it was Friday, he ended up getting a hot plate that had like rice, lamb shoulder. What was the other meat? It was some other meat, a bowl of fruit, or a small thing of fruit, and what was the other thing? And a diet soda. He spent $30. Wait, y'all, why is shit so expensive out here? This is why I eat at home. This is why I eat at home. I can't take it. And y'all know, like, I mainly eat fruits and vegetables, so it don't take much for me at all. I like my little 98-cent bag of frozen veggies. The most expensive thing I spend money on is fish or any kind of meat, obviously. But aside from that, I get a watermelon every week, 3 pineapples. I get my salad for the week. I buy yogurt every couple weeks because I buy it in bulk. Like like even I have bought some stuffed salmon. It's like it's 4 things of stuffed salmon. It's probably about like that big each one, and it's stuffed with like a seafood mix. It was like $22. I'm like, bro, I remember when I used to pay like $15 for this. $30 I better eat for day. I'm telling you, like, I be thinking about stuff like that. Like, sir, Did you eat all this in one sitting? Because this need to be at least 2 meals. At least. That's at the very least 2 meals. That's why like certain fast food places I just don't go to anymore, because I'm just gonna get, because I used to love just getting the Frisco melt, but baby, for $5 and some change, I can get that double steak burger on regular buns, and y'all not gonna toast it in butter to oblivion, which bothers me sometimes with the Frisco melt. And I could just get a cup of Frisco sauce for 50 cents and put that bad boy on there, and it's gonna taste just like a Frisco melt. Well, not quite, but pretty much just like a Frisco melt, minus the different taste in the buns. So now I'm spoiled. So like I went to Dairy Queen last week because I just wanted a burger and fries from Dairy Queen, and I also wanted a Blizzard. Y'all, $15. I said, bitch, that Blizzard wasn't that important. You could have got you a $4 carton of ice cream from Walmart. It kept it moving. Cause what? Even Dairy Queen, I think their meals are like $9 if you just get a regular drink. And let's just cut that in half and go to Steak and Shake, baby, because y'all doing too much. You ever try Top Step? Vanguard, I have a Top Step account that I just got last week. But so in a nutshell, I've been trading with Apex accounts for the last 9 months as I develop my trading strategy. My strategy is pretty much almost done, minus a few little minor changes I might have to make over time as I collect more data for certain setups. But I had Rhythmic accounts with Apex because I didn't want to pay extra for TradeAvate accounts just to have CQG data, even though CQG is always going to be better than Rhythmic. I did not want to pay extra knowing that I wasn't going to trade on the TradeAvate platform. I'm going to still trade on NinjaTrader. So that was cool at first. But I decided that I wanted to diversify because it's just some things going on with Apex that I'm not very happy about, and I don't need to experience it myself to know that I don't want to go through it. So I would like to diversify. Just in case. And so I decided on Top Step because Top Step's rules are pretty much kind of the most lenient, and they've been around for a long time and I trust them. So I did get an account last Monday. However, the problem is the one PA that I have on Apex that I've had since March that I just started trading on last Monday is a Rhythmic account. And you know, with Top Step's TradeAvate accounts, you can't trade on NinjaTrader. So in order for me to be able to trade both of the prop firms at the same time, because I do copy trade, I don't trade accounts individually, I basically have to get rid of this PA. So obviously I'm going to try to get a payout instead of just blowing it. But so I trade my one TradeAvate Apex account that I have now, and I trade the PA account, the Rhythmic PA. I try to hit the daily goal or loss target of $200. And once I hit that in my session, then I will switch to the Top Step account. Unfortunately, because of the way that I've been trading, I haven't hit that daily goal either of the days last week, and not today either. So I do have a Top Step eval that I will be working on. It's just the priority right now is trying to either get this account to pay out, like the account just has to go. So it's either going to get to pay out or it's going to blow. And that way I can only have TradeAvate Apex accounts and Rhythmic Top Step accounts. But Top Step is going to be like my number one pick, honestly, for now at least. The only thing is I don't really like how quick they can take you to live, but I mean, aside from that, I think Top Step is a great company. I've never had any problems with them. Not $15 my ass. Moved there for a job during COVID. We're not going to talk about it, but I hope your payouts continue to be respected. Sounds like you're very knowledgeable. You have an IG. No, I don't have an IG. I've kind of disconnected from social media because once I no longer had the businesses that I had where I needed to be on social media, I said, F this. So I do have an Instagram, but I don't like Instagram, so I've never used it. But no, trust me, Vanguard, this is not the place where you're going to have a YouTuber telling people that they're being denied because they're breaking rules. I'm not that person. I will never be that person. So if you like more transparent people and people who are going to be real and call companies out for their BS, this is the place to be. But yes, I hope that my payouts are respected as well. But again, because I see what's going on with other people, I ain't dumb. Okay. I am not somebody who needs to put my finger on the stove and get burned for me to know that it's going to burn me. If 12 people tell me it's going to burn me, it's going to burn me. And I ain't going to touch it. Right. So, yeah. We were just talking earlier about this new probation status for people who are going live. And I tore into that because I don't agree with the way that they did things. And I don't like the way that they communicated that. And I think that's not acceptable. Some of the rules that they have with it and things like that. Like, trust me, I'm not that person. I don't peddle for affiliate commissions. I tell people, whatever you don't like, go elsewhere. And that's not to like be ignorant or say that a prop firm is wrong for something that they like or okay with something that, no, I genuinely mean if you don't like it, go somewhere else, because go where you're gonna make money. That's the whole purpose of this thing, right? I like Top Step because of transparency. So I can't trade on Top Step X. And honestly, I personally would not trade on a platform that's owned by the prop firm that I use. That's just, again, me personally. But also my strategy is based on indicators that I use for NinjaTrader. So it just wouldn't work out. And the way that I enter trades is so precise with the close of the Renko bars that I need the chart trader that I use in order to be able to have precise entries. But let me go sashay around this office and find. Have a good day, Applejacks. If you find him, let us know tomorrow. Sending a video of me trading is just crazy. Been trading off and on since 2000. Got serious last year and funded last month. Quit being a ooh, nice. So Vanguard, oh, before we start that, this is the accounts. You guys can see I was negative on the leader account, but my PA was positive, so great. We're almost back to the $25,000 initial balance. So same thing tomorrow, daily goal or loss, whatever, of $200, and then we'll switch to Top Step. Oh yeah, that first trade didn't get taken on that one. That's why that one's positive. But anyway, so I've been trading off and on, way more off than on, since 2014. For a period of time, I was actually pretty profitable. From about 2019 to 2022 when I stopped trading, and I literally only stopped because I was running a credit repair business and I was working part-time as a nurse, and so that was just a lot. And I was profitable doing intraday swing trading, and I loved it. However, I did not love how long I had to be on the charts and how long I was in trades, and how, the longer you're in trades, the easier it is for the market to go against you. So I decided about a year and a half ago that I wanted to figure out how to scalp with Renko bars, because Renko bars are the only bars that make sense to me personally. I don't want to learn candlestick patterns. I just don't. So in December, when I started my YouTube channel, that is when I decided, okay, we're really going to hone in on this, because the only reason it's taken me 10 years to get where I want to be trading is because I've always had so many other things going on, and I didn't have anything to hold me accountable besides my best friend who trades, but he just lets up because he's a sucker. So I'm like, all right, I have another YouTube channel that has over 18,000 subscribers, and I started that channel because I wanted to hold myself accountable on my debt-free journey. So because I knew how much easier it was for me to stay on track despite being frustrated and other things like that during this process, I knew that if I started a YouTube channel and if I streamed every day, that I would hold myself accountable. And so it's taken the last 9 months for me to put things together because number one, there's not a lot of data out there regarding Renkos, right? And on top of that, I don't really like back testing like that. Like, I'm somebody who would rather just take all the data from what I see live happening, journal, and eventually over time you get enough sample size for different setups to determine your rules. So I started off with practically no rules, right? And then in January, I decided to start looking at volume, which I've never traded volume before, even when I used to intraday swing trade. Never traded volume before. And again, because Renko's is not a common bar type, there's no information out there in regards to how to make those two things correlate. So from January to May, I struggled trying to get consistent rules together. I was always tweaking, like it just, nothing ever like made sense, but it was the way I was trading volume. So in May, I started paying attention to the point of control in my entry bar and looking at that and who's in, where the POC was. Is it in the wick or is it in the body of the candle? But I never knew like who was in control in the point of control, because the indicator I was using just showed me where the point of control was. In July is when I started paying attention. Okay, let's see who's in control. And I think that's when I started trading an order flow version of things. And then about 2 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I started to look at the delta. So paying attention to the delta part of the order flow. So it's been like over time, adding things that make the strategy more consistent, more profitable. But I always tell people, what you see on my YouTube is not the actual performance of the strategy. And that's only because over the course of time, like I'm missing trades, I'm sitting out of trades because I'm a little confused, or I still don't have this all the way together and things like that. So and then I'm trying to develop a scalping strategy with very set rules on the most volatile instrument during the most volatile hours. And I want the strategy to transcend any market condition, whether it's trending or choppy. So that's a really big goal, right? So obviously it's going to take time. A lot of people who I know scalp, they don't have very set rules. It's all discretionary. It's all based on feel and things like that. And that's not what I want, because that's not how my brain works. I'm a very analytical person. And in order for me to stay on a straight and narrow and not overanalyze my way out of a setup or a trade, I have to have very clear, concise rules. Does it set up this way? Yes, it did. Take the trade. Did it set up this way? No, it didn't. Sit out. That's the only way that I can trade. It allows me to be a robot, and it allows me to never go on tilt. But yeah, you need credit repair knowledge. I don't do credit repair anymore though. I don't. Today was a choppy day, no lie, but I was waiting for the rally that's happening now. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I stop at 10:45 no matter what. I was thinking about possibly continuing because now that I've adjusted the rules to a certain extent, I still am pretty safe to trade all the way until probably 11:30. But because the volume starts drying up so much at 10:45, and I hate watching paint dry, I just stop at 10:45 no matter what. But I am thinking about possibly continuing. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. But as far as like the video thing, and we've talked about this over here before, I'm not all the way mad at the video requests, to be honest with you. And that's only because I know genuinely that there are a lot of services out there that are trading for people, and people in trading rooms who have no idea how to trade. And when some of these people were requested to do the videos where they have to explain, okay, so why are you getting into this setup and things like that, people think that Apex just wants their strategy. It's not that, right? But if you can't explain to me why you just entered a buy here, well, if my goal is to fund traders, I have no reason to fund you, because your ass don't know how to trade. It's whoever you taking signals from who knows how to trade. So why would I fund you with live money? And why do you feel like you deserve money from trading and you don't know what you're doing? Right? So because of all the services that are out there, how Replicanto allows people to, copy trade to accounts across the internet, how people can have Quantower and connect whatever accounts they want to, because you are allowed to have so many rhythmic connections with Quantower. I get it. From a business aspect, if I wanted to fund traders, I would want them to show that they know how to trade. I get it. However, and again, we just talked about this earlier, my biggest problem was you started requesting this at a time where you were already waiting until the last minute, and some people were not getting approved until a couple days after the end of the period you defined, right? So you're already not meeting your own guidelines when it comes to approval and denial timelines. So then you add on the aspect of having to manually review these videos when you already are behind doing the other stuff. That doesn't make sense to me, you know? And you had people where they were kind of stuck in that time span, or that period of time where they were transitioning between you, like, at first you didn't have to show your keyboard and your mouse, and then they decided, okay, you need to show that too. Well, then you have people who have waited for a long time to hear back just to say, oh, you denied because you didn't have these things showing. Well, the video or the email you sent me didn't have that. I needed that. So why am I subjected to that when you just changed that? So it's just certain things where, like, I don't like it. And as a previous business owner, you know, regardless of how big your company is, there are just certain things that need to be put in place for, number one, for you to keep your customers in the door, right? And number two, just for you to keep a great reputation. I think that sometimes, and I've actually seen a staff member say, we never left number one. Well, although that might be true, that doesn't negate the fact that some of the shit y'all doing is unacceptable. And that mindset of we're number one and we've never left number one can possibly eventually be the reason why you ain't gonna be number one anymore. Because your ranking, your status doesn't really matter. Are you treating traders well? Are you communicating? And are you doing things the right way? I was always like, the way I grew up, somebody who's up today can be down tomorrow. Somebody who's down today can be up tomorrow. So having the mindset of we're number one, nobody has overtaken us, whatever, like, you're gonna fuck yourself up. I don't get it. Sergeant Boss, I trade on NinjaTrader. This is NinjaTrader charts. The left side is a Renko chart using Ninja Renkos. A lot of people use O Renkos. I don't. This is Ninja Renkos. And then on the right side is just a little 15-second chart. And I only have that chart over there because so many people trade with time-based candles. So because so many people have never seen Renkos before, don't understand them, whatever, I just have that over there because when I take trades, you can see that it still follows market structure, right? So I just have that over there. Still holding the trade up to 80 so far in the green. Later. See you, Janelle. Good luck on your trade. Let us know tomorrow how it ends up turning out. Key advice when it comes to Nasdaq. If you make money, you make money. Your strategy is your strategy. So don't let my words. Okay, so Vanguard, before you keep typing, I am the type of person where if you have to preface something by saying don't be offended, then you know that you could possibly offend someone and you should just keep it to yourself. That's just my personal opinion. Most of the validity in Nasdaq comes after 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. Oh, well, that's not offensive. I don't know what time zone you're in. Key rallies always happen after 11:12. So, yes, that is very true. So the biggest, I actually used to trade after. So I'm in Central Standard Time, so it's 11 o'clock my time. So for a minute, I used to trade beyond 10:45, right? Again, I used to trade all hours of the day, especially when I was intraday swing trading and when I was trading different instruments as well. And I used to have kind of like that split time where I would trade this time and then I would stop for this time and then I would come back. And for me, like, whatever time I do decide to stay on the charts, it has to be straight through. I can't take a break. If I take a break, I'm not coming back. But also I wanted to kind of limit my time on the charts while I'm developing my strategy first. That way I don't get so, number one, overwhelmed, and number two, just like fatigue of looking at the same thing happening over and over and journaling so much and, you know, seeing what rules need to be adjusted and things like that. But I can tell you that once I am like done with everything and I feel like there might not be too many more adjustments to be made, if I can see that like, yo, my strategy still works after 10:45, I don't mind staying on an extra hour, right? As long as I just don't want to trade into lunchtime. Like lunchtime, I'm definitely not sitting through that shit. But yeah, me stopping at 10:45 is not like a set thing that I'm going to continue doing always, because if the market's still moving like it is right now and my strategy is still working, why wouldn't I want to stay on and get a couple extra dollars? I mean, as long as I reach my daily profit target, that's all I care about, right? And because I literally was just thinking about that this weekend, I was looking at the data from last week, and I was looking specifically from 10:45 Central until 11:30 Central to see if the strategy was still working out, and it was. So I'm like, okay, well, we can probably extend. I just don't want to extend right now. I just don't want to extend right now. That's it. But yeah, I am going to do that because like for now, like I told you, I have to hit my daily goal before I switch over to Top Step, and that's just so I can attempt to get to payout and switch my accounts over. So if I haven't hit the daily target by 10:45, yeah, I am going to stay on an extra hour if my strategy shows that I can still trade for that extra hour. So yeah, that definitely is something that'll happen. What you just said, a trader that finds probability within 15 minutes longer than holding for an hour, not overextending yourself. Yeah. And that's my thing. Like I've done all kind of trading that you can think of. I've done binary options, I've traded forex, I've traded futures, I have intraday swing traded, I have multi-day, multi-week swing traded. I am now scalping. Scalping works better for my brain because first of all, I've been screwed by swing trading sometimes. Like I remember, I tell everybody this story. I was in a GBP NZD buy. This was years ago. And it came like probably 10 pips or something. I didn't have like a huge stop loss and take profit, and I used to trade like a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio most of the time. So it came about 10, I would say 10 to 15 pips away from hitting my take profit. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna hold it. Like at that time, I didn't have like an auto break even, no, none of that. It was an all or nothing thing based on data that I had. And I sat through that trade for 2 weeks. Do you hear me? Now, mind you, I was trading other stuff, but that trade I sat through swap fees for 2 weeks just for 2 or 3 more times for it to come kind of close to my take profit. And then eventually I lost, and I said, all right, motherfucker, no more multi-week swing trading. So then I did the intraday swing trading, but I would be up all day, up all night. Like I was that person where my strategy would work at different times of the day. So I'm trying to sleep, but I got my laptop open next to me with it dimmed down, so you know the light is not bothering my sleep, but I got alarms set and I'm waking up with one eye like, is this set up? No, okay, back to sleep. I was exhausted. And then there's been times where like market is going in my direction, and then boom, something happens and we're out of there going the opposite way. So I just love being in and out very quickly. Like most of my trades, I am in and out within 10 seconds. I think my average is like 8, somewhere around there most days, especially like, you know, in the first hour and a half of the market being open. But for me, it's like, just find what works for you. If you like being in trades for a long time, baby, do you. I don't like that. And I want to be off the charts by a certain time as well. Like I cannot be that person that trades from market open to market close. I personally cannot do it because I feel like it's another full-time job. And if my whole goal was to master trading so that I did not have to go back to nursing, right? If I'm going to sit here for the same amount of time that I would at my nursing job where I was making $43 an hour practically doing nothing, I would rather practically do nothing and not have my brain turn to mush while I'm trying to develop strategies and look at the market and pay attention. I'd rather go sit for 9 out of my 12 hours while people are sleeping, because I worked overnight, and work 3 out of 12 hours. That's what I would rather do. I'm not gonna lie, I would rather do that. So I wanted to develop something where I can be off the charts within 3 hours and go live my life. because the whole goal is freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. That's all I care about. And I cannot have time freedom if I am sitting here trading for 8 hours a day. Just can't. Oh, yeah, 8 seconds. I'm funny though. Thank you. Please switch to Top Step. I am. I am. I promise. I promise I have a Top Step account. I promise. I can show you. I have a Top Step account. And my priority is going to be Top Step. I just have to get this Apex Rhythmic account out of the way, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to not trade with Apex. I mean, why not just trade with 2 different prop firms? But again, the only way that I can copy trade all of them is if I have Tradeovate accounts with Apex and Rhythmic with Top Step. See, I have a Top Step account. I just haven't traded it. That's all. That's all. But yeah, so that's kind of me in a nutshell. And I don't know. For me, I just want to show the journey. My whole goal of my YouTube was to show the journey of being a crazy person trying to develop a trading strategy. I didn't want to, at first I wanted to come to YouTube with everything all the way done, but I was like, no, I want to show people the realism, especially because there are a lot of people who are just getting into trading. They're very new. And because they see so much information online about, oh, you could start today and make money tomorrow, and it's so unrealistic for the average person, I just wanted to show people the journey of that and the journey of, you know, getting to payouts in a prop firm and things like that. But I can assure you, I'm not gonna be that person that's just talking about Apex or what. Like, I'm not that person. It's not my company, so I would never have 100% belief in any company that's not mine, right? And like you said, Top Step is just a lot easier. There's less rules. There's practically no rules almost. And for me, I want the peace of mind, like to spend 9, almost 10 months developing a strategy. If I get to a payout on Apex and I have to sit here and sweat for 2 weeks before I hear back, like that's going to drive me crazy. I did not do all of this to question for 2 weeks whether or not you're going to approve my payout. And that's the whole reason why I got a Top Step account, which is what I talked about 2 weeks ago. Like, y'all, I'm going to get a Top Step account because I see what other people are dealing with during the payout process, right? And it's unacceptable to me, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So in the process of me waiting for you, I'm going to be trading over here and getting withdrawals. And the idea of being able to just hit $200 5 times, you know, and get a payout, oh my gosh, yes, heaven. That you said that texting you and watching this rally, but repricing right now lowers the possibility higher. I want you to come in here when I'm actually trading, because I do love. We all will talk about like where we're looking to get in, because I think I'm the only scalper here. Most people who support my channel are intraday swing traders. So people will say, hey, I think if it breaks here, it's going to continue. Like, I allow that here. I just don't like people who come in like, it's going to do this. You don't know that. Shut up. I'm going to make a YouTube page. Just been making a lot of monologues documenting my trading. The time I flipped. Quitting my job, being a black officer, struggling as a black trader. Yeah, you should. You should. I think that we need more black creators in every space of social media, but especially places like YouTube. I think Applejack's, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like one of Applejack's first comments on my channel was, oh my gosh, another black trader. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, because first of all, most of the black content creators on YouTube trade Forex. Like probably 90%. We're not going to count the ones who just switched over to futures. Screw them. I'm not talking about them. Before all of them started jumping over to futures, there were very little black creators on YouTube who trade futures. And even then, the few that were really out there were men. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this because representation is everything, right? We deal with that as black people in everyday life. Like, sometimes you can't see yourself in that position until you see somebody that looks like you in that position, right? That's just what we deal with. So I wanted to be part of that. And to be honest with you, sometimes being a Black content creator on any platform, but even YouTube as well, makes it a little bit more difficult, right? It does make it a little bit more difficult because at the end of the day, again, we talked about representation. So somebody who does not look like you might not support you, and it's not a purposeful thing for some. It's just that's not what they are drawn to, right? Yeah. But for me, it's like I'm just gonna keep going because that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the representation. I don't care if I get 100 views for the rest of my time on YouTube. That doesn't matter as long as the content is there, because at the end of the day, this is my little journal and diary as well. Like being able to get to a point of profitability and go back to when I first started and all the red days strung together and all the times I'm frustrated, and going back to my physical journal of the times I've written at the top of my day that day, today was fucking frustrating. To be able to go back and look at the journey is what is important to me. Yeah, there's not a lot of Black women traders at all, which is unfortunate, but we all know that number one, we got to see it first. Number two, we lack the knowledge. We lack the access to certain information and things like that. So it's a multitude of reasons why that's a thing, right? But I want to be one of the people that kind of changes that. So yeah, that's my goal. And that's why eventually I am going to create a Discord community, right? Because I don't know, everybody has different communities that they're building, but I really love mine because we're so positive here, and we're so like, I allow people to say whatever the hell you want to, as long as it ain't racist. I don't really care what you do. And I just feel like the community that we're building would be a positive community for other traders as well. It's just I have to sit down and do it. To sit down and do it and kind of structure it out. But yeah, but I thank you for coming in, and hopefully this is not your last time here, because we do like to have fun and we like to have great conversation over here, and we talk about everything. We talk about all different prop firms and some of the stuff that people are going through and things like that, and I just love it. But I'm gonna get to journaling so I can start the rest of my day, because I'm actually pretty tired. I did not sleep very well. But I thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.